Welcome to this new chapter, Reproductive Health. This topic is not just about biology, it's about understanding ourselves, our bodies, and the importance of being informed, responsible, and healthy when it comes to reproduction. Reproductive health includes much more than just the absence of disease. It's about the complete well-being, physical, emotional, and social, in all matters relating to the reproductive system. In this chapter, we'll explore vital topics like what it truly means to be reproductively healthy, the importance of family planning and contraceptive methods, how to prevent sexually transmitted infections, and how modern science supports infertility treatment and safe childbirth. Whether you are studying for exams or just trying to understand this sensitive but essential part of life, this chapter will give you a clear, respectful, and scientific perspective.
1. What is reproductive health? Reproductive health means the healthy functioning of reproductive organs in both males and females. 2. WHO definition of reproductive health. The World Health Organization defines reproductive health as a state of complete physical, emotional, behavioral, and social well-being, not just the absence of disease, in all matters related to the reproductive system. 3. A broader perspective of reproductive health. It's more than just preventing diseases. It involves emotional balance, responsible sexual behavior, and understanding social aspects of sexual health. 4. What makes a society reproductively healthy? A reproductively healthy society is one where individuals have physically and functionally normal reproductive organs, healthy emotional and behavioral interactions in all sexual matters. 5. Why is reproductive health important? Reproductive health is crucial because it ensures safe and normal reproductive functions, promotes emotional and mental well-being, helps control population growth, prevents sexually transmitted infections, encourages responsible parenthood, reduces maternal and infant mortality, empowers individuals with knowledge and rights about reproduction. 6. How to achieve reproductive health. To achieve reproductive health, we need comprehensive sex education, public awareness programs, use of contraceptive methods, medical help for infertility, prenatal and postnatal care, counseling and community support. Reproductive health isn't just a personal matter. It's a foundation for a healthy, responsible, and aware society.
3.1 Reproductive Health Problems and Strategies. India's initiative towards reproductive health. Early action. India was among the first countries to launch national-level programs for reproductive health. Family Planning Program, 1951. Initiated to control population growth. Regularly updated over the decades. Current program, now called Reproductive and Child Healthcare, RCH, programs. Broader in scope, covers all reproductive health concerns. Objectives of RCH programs. Awareness creation. Educate people on reproduction-related issues. Use audiovisual aids, print media, campaigns, etc. Role of society. Parents, teachers, friends play a vital role in information sharing. Encourage sex education in schools to avoid myths and misconceptions. What should be taught? Information on reproductive organs, adolescence and puberty, hygienic sexual practices, STIs and HIV/AIDS, safe motherhood practices, breastfeeding and maternal care, equality of male and female children, target audience for education, adolescents, fertile couples, marriageable age groups, problems to address, uncontrolled population growth, sexual abuse and crimes, gender discrimination and female feticide. Solution: awareness plus legal and social measures. Requirements for implementation: strong infrastructure, trained professionals, medical care and assistance for pregnancy and childbirth, STDs and contraception, infertility and abortions, menstrual disorders, Techniques and regulations. Amniocentesis. Sampling of amniotic fluid to test for genetic disorders. Example, Down syndrome, sickle cell anemia. Banned for sex determination to curb female feticide. Child immunization. Nationwide vaccination to protect newborns and reduce mortality. Research and innovation. Promoted by government and NGOs. Development of better contraceptives and treatments. Example, Saheli, a non-steroidal oral contraceptive developed by CDRI, Lucknow, India's own innovation. Signs of improved reproductive health. Increased medically assisted deliveries. Better postnatal care. Decreased maternal and infant mortality. Growth in small, planned families. Improved detection and treatment of STDs. Better medical support for sex-related health. 3.2 Population stabilization and birth control. Population explosion global and Indian context. Global trend. In 1900, world population was 2 billion. In 2000, reached 6 billion. By 2011, increased to 7.2 billion. Indian trend. 1947, independence population was around 350 million. By 2000, approached 1 billion. By May 2011, crossed 1.2 billion. Reasons for rapid population growth. Reduced death rate. Reduced maternal mortality rate, MMR. Reduced infant mortality rate, IMR. More people in the reproductive age group. Role of RCH, Reproductive and Child Health, program. Helped slow down population growth. But the impact was marginal.
2011 census report highlights. Population growth rate. Less than 2%. 20 births per 1,000 people per year. Still considered alarming due to large population base. Consequences of rapid population growth. Absolute scarcity of food, shelter, clothing. Despite progress, resources may fall short if growth continues unchecked. Government measures. Due to the alarming rise, the government had to act. Focus shifted to promoting population stabilization, spreading awareness of birth control, providing contraceptive options, integrating population education into public health, encouraging small families. Key measures. 1. Promotion of small family norms. The most effective solution to curb population growth is to motivate people to adopt small families.
2. Media campaigns and awareness drives. Posters, ads, and slogans used to spread the message. Example, Hum do, Hamare do, we too, are two. Promotes the idea of a two-child family. Some families, especially urban, educated, working couples, are now opting for a one-child norm voluntarily. Legal measures, marriage age limits. To prevent early marriages and reduce early pregnancies. Minimum age for females, 18 years. Minimum age for males, 21 years. 4. Government incentives. Incentives offered to couples who adopt birth control methods, follow small family norms. These may include financial rewards, health benefits, housing preferences, priority in government schemes. Purpose of these measures: delay marriage and childbirth, reduce fertility rate, improve maternal and child health, promote economic stability and quality of life. Overview: contraceptive methods. Ideal characteristics of a good contraceptive. A good contraceptive should be effective in preventing pregnancy, reversible, temporary use possible, safe with minimal or no side effects, non-intrusive in sexual drive or act, should not interfere with sexual desire, mood, or performance. Categories of contraceptive methods. Contraceptives are grouped into 6 broad types. 1. Natural, traditional methods. Based on avoiding chances of fertilization. Examples: rhythm method, avoiding intercourse during fertile days. Withdrawal method, coitus interruptus. Lactational amenorrhea, natural infertility during breastfeeding. Barrier methods. Physically block sperm from reaching the egg. Types. Condoms, male and female. Diaphragms. Cervical caps. Spermicidal creams, jellies, foams. IUDs, intrauterine devices. Placed inside the uterus by a doctor. Prevent implantation or fertilization. Examples. Copperty, Multilode 375, LNG 20. 4. Oral contraceptives. Hormonal pills taken by women. Regulate menstrual cycle and prevent ovulation. Example. Combined oral pills, estrogen plus progesterone. 5. Injectables and implants. Long-acting hormonal contraceptives. Injected or implanted under the skin. Slowly release hormones to prevent ovulation. 6. Surgical methods. Sterilization. Permanent methods for birth control. Types. Vasectomy, surgical removal or blocking of part of vas deferens in males. Tubectomy, surgical blocking of fallopian tubes in females. Contraceptive methods, natural, barrier and IUDs. 1. Natural methods of contraception. Principle. Avoiding the meeting of sperm and ovum, i.e., no fertilization. A. Periodic abstinence, rhythm method. Avoid coitus, intercourse, from day 10 to day 17 of the menstrual cycle, fertile period. Ovulation usually occurs during this window. Abstaining during this time can prevent fertilization. B. Withdrawal method, coitus interruptus. Male partner withdraws penis from vagina before ejaculation. Prevents sperm from entering the female reproductive tract. C. Lactational amenorrhea. Based on absence of menstruation during exclusive breastfeeding, post-parturition. Ovulation is suppressed during intense lactation. Effective only up to 6 months after childbirth. Pros. No medicines or devices required. No side effects. Cons. High failure rate due to human error or irregular cycles. 2. Barrier methods of contraception. Principle. Prevent physical contact between sperm and ovum. A. Condoms. Made of thin latex or rubber. Worn on penis, male condom, or vagina and cervix, female condom. Prevents semen from entering the female reproductive tract. Nirod, common male condom brand in India. Also protects against STIs, including HIV/AIDS. Pros. Easily available, disposable, self-inserted, promotes privacy, offers dual protection, pregnancy plus STIs. B. Diaphragms, cervical caps, vaults. Rubber barriers placed inside the female reproductive tract. Cover the cervix to block sperm entry. Must be inserted before coitus. Often used with spermicidal creams, jellies, foams. Reusable and moderately effective. Now let's talk about intrauterine devices, or IUDs, one of the most commonly used contraceptive methods, especially for long-term protection. 1. How are IUDs used? IUDs are inserted into the uterus through the vagina by a trained doctor or nurse. Once placed, they can remain effective for years and do not require daily attention. 2. Types of IUDs. IUDs come in 3 main types, each working in a different way to prevent pregnancy. Let's understand them one by one. I. Non-medicated IUDs. Example, Lippes loop. This type increases the body's natural defense mechanism. It promotes phagocytosis of sperms. Basically, the body destroys sperms before they reach the egg. 2. Copper-releasing IUDs. Examples, CUT, Cu7, Multilode 375. These IUDs release copper ions. Copper interferes with sperm by reducing sperm motility and lowering their fertilizing ability. 3. Hormone-releasing IUDs. Examples, LNG 20, Progestacert. These release progesterone-like hormones. They work by thickening cervical mucus, which blocks sperm from entering the uterus, and making the uterus lining unsuitable for implantation. In summary, IUDs are a safe, effective, and reversible method of contraception. They offer long-term protection and work in different ways, by destroying sperms, blocking their movement, or preventing implantation. Advantages: long-term protection, highly effective, ideal for spacing between children, requires trained personnel for insertion or removal. Hormonal and surgical contraceptive methods. 4. Oral contraceptive pills, OCPs, used by females as daily pills. Contents: progestogens alone or progestogen plus estrogen combination. How to take: 1 pill daily for 21 days. Start within the first 5 days of the menstrual cycle. After 21 days, stop for 7 days. Menstruation occurs. Repeat the cycle if pregnancy is to be avoided. Mechanism of action: inhibit ovulation, prevent implantation, thicken cervical mucus to block sperm entry. Advantages: highly effective, fewer side effects, convenient for regular users. Saheli, India's nonsteroidal oral pill. Developed by Central Drug Research Institute, CDRI, Lucknow. Contains a nonsteroidal compound. Once-a-week oral contraceptive. Minimal side effects and high effectiveness. 5 injectables and implants. Long-acting hormonal contraceptives for females. Progestogens alone or in combination with estrogen. Administered via injections. Subcutaneous implants. Same action as pills. Prevent ovulation. Block fertilization. Prevent implantation. Effective for longer duration, weeks to months. 6. Emergency contraception. Used to prevent pregnancy after unprotected intercourse. Administered within 72 hours of coitus. Can be hormonal pills, high-dose progestogens, IUDs. Use cases: rape, accidental unprotected sex, condom failure. 7. Surgical methods: sterilization, permanent contraception, also called sterilization. A. Vasectomy, males. A portion of the vas deferens is cut or tied. Done via a small incision in the scrotum. Prevents sperm from reaching the urethra. B. Tubectomy, females. A portion of the fallopian tube is cut or tied. Done via incision in abdomen or vagina. Prevents egg from meeting sperm. Highly effective. Reversibility is very low. Important considerations: always consult medical professionals before using contraceptives. They are not regular necessities, but used to prevent unwanted pregnancies, space children, delay conception for personal reasons. Possible side effects: not very significant, but notable. Nausea, abdominal pain, breakthrough, irregular bleeding, breast tenderness, slight increase in risk of breast cancer, in rare cases. 3.3 Medical termination of pregnancy, MTP, also known as induced abortion. What is MTP? Definition: the intentional or voluntary termination of pregnancy before full term, also called induced abortion. Global statistics: 45 to 50 million MTPs performed globally per year. This is nearly 1/5, 20%, of all conceived pregnancies. Legal and ethical context: controversial issue, debated due to emotional, ethical, religious, and social concerns. India's legal status: legalized in 1971 under the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act. Includes strict conditions to prevent misuse, especially to curb female feticide. Why is MTP needed? Unwanted pregnancies due to unprotected intercourse, contraceptive failure, rape, medical concerns, risk to mother's life or health, Risk of fetal abnormalities. Threat to both mother and fetus. Safe duration for MTP. First trimester, 0 to 12 weeks. Considered relatively safe if done legally by medical professionals. Second trimester, 13 to 20 weeks. Much riskier and requires stronger medical justification. Unhealthy and dangerous practices. Illegal abortions, performed by unqualified quacks, may lead to infection, infertility, or death. Sex determination via amniocentesis, misused to identify and abort female fetuses. Illegal and unethical. Increases risk to both mother and unborn child. Why misuse must be prevented. Female feticide worsens gender imbalance. Threatens women's health. Violates human rights and medical ethics. Solutions and recommendations. Strict enforcement of MTP laws. Ban and monitor misuse of amniocentesis. Effective sex education to reduce unwanted pregnancies. Counseling for youth and families. Improve healthcare access for women. Spread awareness about safe abortion practices. 3.4 Sexually transmitted infections, STIs, also known as venereal diseases, VDs. Reproductive tract infections, RTIs. Definition. Infections or diseases transmitted primarily through sexual intercourse are called sexually transmitted infections, STIs. Let's now look at some of the most common sexually transmitted infections, or STIs. These infections are passed mainly through sexual contact, and early detection is very important for effective treatment and prevention. STIs can be divided into two major groups: curable diseases and usually incurable diseases. Curable STIs. These infections can be effectively treated with medicines, especially if diagnosed early. Gonorrhea, syphilis, chlamydiasis, trichomoniasis. These diseases are caused by bacteria or protozoa, and antibiotics usually work well. Usually incurable STIs. These infections are caused by viruses, and currently have no complete cure. However, they can be managed with medication to reduce symptoms and viral load. A hepatitis B, genital herpes, or HIV/AIDS, discussed in Chapter 7, partially curable, or genital warts. This is caused by the human papillomavirus, HPV. While the visible warts can be treated, the virus may remain in the body. Final note. So remember, some STIs are curable, others are lifelong. The best protection is awareness, safe sexual practices, and early medical help if symptoms appear. Other modes of transmission, non-sexual. Some STIs can also spread through sharing of needles or syringes, use of infected surgical instruments, blood transfusion from an infected person, from mother to fetus during pregnancy, example HIV, hepatitis B. Symptoms of STIs. Early symptoms are usually mild or go unnoticed. Itching in genital area, fluid discharge, slight pain or swelling. Females may be asymptomatic, making early detection harder. If left untreated, STIs may cause pelvic inflammatory disease, PID, abortions, stillbirths, ectopic pregnancies, infertility, reproductive tract cancers. Social impact and stigma. Social stigma leads to delayed diagnosis and treatment. Lack of awareness and hesitation may worsen the health condition. Reproductive health program emphasis. STIs are a major threat to public health. Focus on early detection, prevention, and proper treatment. Vulnerable group. Age group 15 to 24 years is most affected. This group includes young adults and adolescents, who must be especially cautious. 3 golden rules of prevention. Avoid sex with unknown or multiple partners. Always use condoms during intercourse. Seek early medical help if there is any suspicion of infection. 3.5 Infertility. What is infertility? Infertility. Inability of a couple to conceive even after 1 year of unprotected sexual intercourse. It is a global concern, including in India. Causes of infertility. Type examples. Physical blockage of reproductive tracts, poor health, congenital birth defects in reproductive organs, diseases STIs, hormonal disorders, example, PCOS, drugs certain medications or treatments, like chemotherapy, immunological antisperm antibodies, Rh incompatibility, psychological stress, anxiety, mental trauma. Myth busting. In India, infertility is often blamed on the female, but male factors, low sperm count, poor motility, are equally or more often responsible. Infertility management and diagnosis. Infertility clinics use advanced diagnostics and treatments. Where treatment fails, couples may use assisted reproductive technologies, ART. Assisted reproductive technologies, ART. 1. IVF, in vitro fertilization, plus ET, embryo transfer. Fertilization done outside the body in lab conditions. Popularly called test tube baby technique. Steps. Ova plus sperm collected. Fertilization in lab, in vitro. Embryo transferred to female body. 2. ZIFT, zygote intrafallopian transfer. Zygote, up to 8 blastomeres, transferred to fallopian tube. 3. IUD, intrauterine transfer. Embryo, more than 8 blastomeres, transferred to uterus. Both ZIFT and IUD can use embryos formed either in vitro, IVF, in vivo, natural conception. 4. GIFT, gamete intrafallopian transfer. Ovum from donor transferred into fallopian tube of a woman who cannot produce ova, but can support fertilization and pregnancy. 5. ICSI, intracytoplasmic sperm injection. A single sperm is directly injected into an ovum in lab. Used in severe male infertility cases. 6. IUI, artificial insemination, intrauterine insemination. Semen from husband or donor is introduced into vagina or directly into uterus, IUI. Used when male has low sperm count or is unable to inseminate. Limitations of ART. Require advanced technology and expertise. Available only in select urban centers. High cost. Affordable to only limited people. May face social, emotional, and religious objections. Ethical and social alternatives. Legal adoption. India has many orphan children who deserve care and family support. Legal adoption is socially noble, emotionally fulfilling, legally accepted, a valuable option for childless couples. Wait for revision video lecture for this chapter. I will give you NEET preparation questions and practice. Thank you for watching.